Alright, so now we're going to start configuring the database. So what you're going to want to do is go to MongoDB Atlas on the MongoDB.com website. You're going to want to sign up. I'm just going to sign up with Google. Alright, I'm in. So I'm going to want to do a new database access user. So I'm going to go over to the right side here, click Add New Database User. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to put in the username. I'm going to put in test, password. I'm going to show you guys. Do test. Don't worry about copying my password username. They'll be deleted after this video comes out, so just gotta do your own. I'm gonna add the user. Alrighty, user is added. We'll go back to our clusters. I'm gonna go to collections. If you do not have a cluster already, go ahead and go back. Just show you real quick. You're gonna press create a new cluster. And this will create a new cluster for you to use. So then after that, you go to collections. Alright, here we're gonna press create a new database. So here, we'll put in the database name. So we'll just put API tutorial. API tutorial. Here we go. Not with caps lock though. Alright, we're gonna enter the collection name. So we're gonna want to make a collection of users. Alright, we'll press create. And here we go. We have our empty collection ready to go. Alright, so to connect your Atlas to your server, we're going to go back to our cluster, press connect, and we're going to want to copy this string right here. You just press copy right here, close it up. We're going to head back to the editor. Here at the editor, we're going to open a new terminal window. On this first one, I have the server running. You just press this plus button. Go to the second one, we're going to npm i.env. So with this, we can make a .env file to house our variables that we don't want anyone else to know. This is going to house passwords, ports, anything you don't want anyone else to know to be secure. So we'll do a new file. We'll do .env. If you did it right, you should see a little gear icon. Here, we're going to paste that. We're going to set it equal to Mongo underscore URI. Oops, capital I. Equals this. Okay. Once you have this ready to go, you're going to put in your username you put in when you made the database access user. Mine was test. The password was super secure, a test password. The database name was API tutorial. Alright, there we go. Alright, and so next we're going to want to make the, oh, never mind. So next we got to make the database access itself. We're going to head on over to the side here, make a new folder. I'm going to call this config. Boom. Alright, in config, we're going to make a new file. We're going to call that db.js. Alright. So in here, we're actually going to need to install a new dependency called Mongoose. So with npm i Mongoose. Wait for that to install. We can go ahead and import it while we wait. Import Mongoose from Mongoose. Alrighty. And so what Mongoose is going to let us do is connect to our database a little more cleanly than without using Mongoose. Okay. So we're going to do const. We're going to initialize our connection function. So we're going to call this connect db equals, it's going to be an async await function, so we're going to put await, not await here, async, There we go. Empty parentheses. All right, I'm going to wrap all this in a try catch. So we do this, try, catch. Second our error. No, error. All right. So in here, we're going to initiate a new variable for our connection. Just call it CONN. No, we'll do full connection. Equals awaits. We'll call it the Mongoose function. Connect. All right, and we're going to throw in process.env.mongo URI. So it's connecting to that instance we threw here, which connects us to our database on the atlas. All right, here we go. Throw in a comma there, get rid of that error. All right. Now we just need to throw in some basic boilerplate. So use unified topology, set the equal to true, and then use new URL parser, also true. Lastly, use create index, also true. Alrighty, in our catch, we should change this to just ERR, simplify a little bit. Go to console log, error, if there is one, console log.error, throw us a backticks error, throw in a string literal, we'll do our error message, if there is an error. And then we'll do process.exits. So if there is an error, we'll just exit. All right. Oh, for one thing, we're going to go back here in the try. Before the catch, if we do connect, we're going to console log. Some backticks. Say MongoDB. Connected. And then we'll say how. So we'll throw the string literal con connection. Connection.host. Alrighty. Looks good. Let's save that. We'll head back over to our server. Alright, now we'll import the function from our db.js file. So we'll do import connect db from /config/db. And so this is very important. If you're going to use imports and modules, you're going to have to put .js after a file that you're importing from. If not, you'll get a really weird error. I'll show you real fast actually. We'll go here. It's going to say internal binding errors .trigger uncaught an exception, or exception, sorry. So this all this means is you have to throw in a .js here. So we'll save that. We should see, oh no, what happened? We didn't export it. Export, default, ConnectDB. Yes, so just make sure you export the ConnectDB function. Go back to server, hit save. Alright, so that is old. Save this, cool. Alrighty. And then we'll just call the function here. So comment connect to MongoDB. We'll call connect db parentheses. Here we go. Ooh, let's see what we got. It must be a string. The URI parameter to open URI must be a string undefined. Let's see. I figured out the problem. We forgot to come in here into our server file and import.env from .env. Alrighty. And then what we need to do with that, we need to come down here. We need to connect. So connect to .env. Alright, we'll do .env .config. Save that. As you can see, boom, we are connected. Alrighty. So next thing we need to do is make a model for our user. So we'll go back over here to the File Explorer. We're going to click Folder. Name this Models. Alright. In Models, we'll make a file called user model.js. Alright. In user model.js, we're going to import Mongoose from Mongoose. Alright. So to make a Mongoose schema, first thing you need to do is initiate the variable for the schema. So we'll call this user schema equals Mongoose dot capital S schema. Do a parenthesis, brackets. Alrighty. Next thing we're going to do Alright, so now we need to fill this with information. So usually a user will have a full name, and then we can give this a type. So in Mongoose, there's many different types. There are strings, number, and Boolean. So it could be true or false, integers, or a string, or a single character. A string would also fall into that category. Alright, so for full name, it would obviously be a string. Okay, and we'll make this required, so they have to have their name when they register. Alright, usually you want a password. So we'll make this also a type of string, and make this also required. Just left in that quote mark. True, alrighty. And then we do, in a lot of instances, you're going to have a username for the user. So we'll do username, type, string as well. A lot of these are going to be type string, just because it's a lot easier to work with. Unless you have specific numbers you're going to want to use, like money or dates, times. It's also the date. Alright, so we have that. Usually if you sign up for something, any kind of website, or register for any profile with any social media, you want to enter an email. So we're going to do that too. Type string. And also be required. Alright, and so if this is for a website, usually there is admin access. Whoever, say you have an e-commerce website, the admin can go in, check the orders, view orders, make sure people have received their order, so they can be changed to delivered, lots of stuff like that. Just maintenance within the website itself. So what we do is admin. So this is going to be a type of Boolean, because it will be either true or false whether they're an admin. So Boolean. And required will be true, and by default it will be false. So at default, the person will not be admin unless we specify so. going to add one more thing. When you're using this in the front end, it's easy to have this timestamp. So whenever you make a new user, a timestamp is connected to the user you just created. So you can easily go back to that timestamp and get that user. So the timestamps, true. All right. So the schema itself is finished. We have full name, password, username, email, and then whether they're an admin or not. Also the timestamp when it was created. All right. To save this and use it, we're going to go to const our user equals mongoose dot model our user. Now make sure this is in quotes. And then our user schema. If this isn't in quotes, it is not going to work. Also, what is up here? Where does it want? It says I'm missing a... Interesting. Oh. Duh. Alright. Make sure you don't capitalize those. Alright, and then we're going to export. Export defaults our user. Alright. And that is our model complete. In a later video, I'm going to go over hashing the password using bcrypt and salting. But for now, the model is complete. In the next video, we're going to go over importing data and using a seeder file to import that data.